folks, this is Alicia with Des Moines New Age Shop and Community Center, and I apologize about the mess in the background. I'm totally spring cleaning and everything and just tossing stuff out. But anyways, so we are going to do an interview tonight, as long as the tech gremlins permit and Mercury retrograde and the eclipse and everything like that. We are going to sit down tonight with Welso. He is a Norse pagan, and he specializes in Tyrism, which is following the deity Tyr. And he's going to tell you a little bit more about that because he's awesome and he really knows his stuff. And he also founded the Shining Ram Kindred, which is basically kind of a Viking clan, Norse clan. He'll tell you all about that too. But anyway, we're going to be sitting down with Welso, and he's taking a little time out of his night to chat with us. And he's Johnny on the spot. All right. Hey, hi Welso. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear and see me?
I can see you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. I'm like searching around for a piece of paper and a marker.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Let's take the comments. All right. So thanks for joining us, and I apologize about being a little bit late. Tech gremlins and all that fun stuff.
Oh no, you're good. I put my little gremlin to bed 17 minutes ago.
Nice. Very nice. Mine's still up running around, so if I get up to go, that's why.
Oh no, you're good. I completely understand. I am happy that mine is 5.
True. All right, so I did a little bit of a short introduction, but tell me a little bit more about Tyrism, about Norse paganism, how you got into it, what a kindred is, why you decided to open one up, what your goals are, just toss it at us. Oh, and we've got 3 watchers and 1 heart so far.
Oh, cool. So Tyrism is... Oh, wrong light. So sorry, I'm figuring out light switches at the moment.
No worries. Now I heard you just moved into your new place, right?
Oh yeah, no, I actually texted my landlord saying that one of the lights didn't work solely because of the fact that I didn't know where it went or where it was, and I thought it was on the same switch. And I felt there, super intelligent. But no, so Tyrism is like a kind of a subsect of Asatru. Of Asatru, which Asatru is essentially Norse paganism.
Yes.
Odinism would be that you're a follower of Odin, saying that Odin is the one head god, essentially. Okay. But the thing with Norse paganism is because everything has been passed down from mouth to mouth through generations up until the Christians came through and started actually writing everything down. Namely, Snorri Sturluson. There are a lot of writings that say that Tyr is the one true Skyfather, and that and Tyr is part of the Vanir,
right?
So
now, because before we go any further, I want you to explain the term Skyfather, and I want you to explain the Vanir.
So Skyfather is essentially he was a ruler of Midgard.
Right.
Because when you break it down, you have, oh shit, I already know I'm about to butcher a bunch of these. You have the three higher, which would be Jotunheim, Norse paganism,
Yes.
Asgard, and Svartalheim.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No worries.
oh no, sorry. I thought my kid was just yelling, but it was just one of my neighbors.
I get it.
And then you have Midgard.
Now Midgard is Earth, right?
Yeah, Midgard is Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not okay. So I'm not even about to sit here and go through all the realms because it's been a while since I've read up on it.
Well, I
But
know Svartalfheim, that is where the Dark Elves reside, correct?
yes. Oh, and then you have Alfheim, which is essentially so the Dark Elves. Another name for the Dark Elves are the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Which that in itself is a whole different live stream.
Hmm.
But
Elfheim, it's supposed to be this really awesome place. Oh, and hey, kiddo, no drinking on camera. No worries.
I'm gonna put this in the fridge. Sorry.
It's all right.
Tell a Norse he can't drink, right?
I know, right? So Elfheim, isn't that ruled over by Frey, and it's supposed to be this awesome place where the fairies live and all that stuff like that?
Yes, and Frey himself is actually Veneer, I believe. So anyway, okay, so what was the first part of that question? Sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I know you probably had one heck of a day.
Oh, it's been fun.
This whole week has been wild. So now what got you into Norse paganism? And how long have you been doing it?
So I've been practicing Norse paganism for what month is it? It's been about three years.
Okay.
And what got me into it, I'm 26 right now, and I got brought up in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, when I was about 16, when I was getting confirmed, one of the questions of why do you want to be a Christian was really what got me to leave Christianity. Because I'm like, why do I want to be a Christian?
Oh my God.
You know? And my parents founded the church, so I felt comfortable enough to talk to the head pastor because I'd pretty much known him my entire life.
Yeah. And
be like, look, dude, there's kids over in India being told that Hinduism or Buddhism is a one way to true happiness. You got kids over in the Middle East being told that Islam or Judaism is a one way to true happiness. I grew up here being told that Christianity is a one way to true happiness, and I'm not happy, dude.
Right.
And he was like, I'm not coming back after this. I'm going to finish off, get confirmed only because I already committed to it.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving the church, and he was like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I can't think of anything to say that will change your mind. I can't do anything, but I hope you find what you're looking for. So I started on this road to paganism because for starters, the first thing I did was, what's the one thing that is complete opposite of Christianity? So I looked into Luciferianism, and it just didn't click with me.
No.
And then probably the last 5 years out of the 10 that I left the church, I started thinking what really settles with me, and I started looking into my history and being born in Russia. And I found out that the Kievan Rus or essentially founded Russia. You know, shocker, Rus and Russia. Who knew? But the Rus were the Vikings.
Okay.
It was just a sect of the Vikings that came down from Scandinavia. When I mean, some people will say that they conquered. However, I just say that they settled.
Okay.
It's not their fault that their land and their stuff look good in other people's possessions.
Well, I mean, I think we can all pretty much say that the Vikings, they kind of held the they held the domain when it came to conquering, and they were very ambitious.
I mean, to be 100% honest, too, like the Vikings really tried everything not to go to war, though. I mean, it even says in the Havamal, you know, try to talk things out before.
Havamal.
So the Havamal are is the words of Odin.
Okay.
It's broken.
Odin is the supreme sky father, correct? He's the supreme among the gods.
He is the leader of the gods.
Okay.
He is the wisest one of all of the gods between the Aesir and the Vanir. Okay. If you take out Mimir, but Mimir is technically a Jotun. So
and Jotuns, they are the giants, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. So the difference between the Aesir and the Vanir, to go back onto half of the original question, the Vanir are a more nature-based and peaceful type of gods. How like the end goal of the Vanir and the Aesir is peace on Midgard.
Okay.
However, the way that they go about it are two completely different things.
Okay.
You are looking at the yin and the yang, to say the least.
Vanir would be the yin and the Aesir would be the yang, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
hold on.
Hold
the phone. Go ahead, keep talking.
The Aesir look at it as, we're going to conquer and we're going to get our way. Either you're going to like it or you're not. We're not going to stop it. It's going to be this one way and only this one way, as in like it's my way or the highway. Or as where the Vanir are like, look, you have benefits, I have benefits. Let's look at this in a way that will benefit both of us with a minimal amount of negative involved. And then you also have to look at it 1,000 years ago when this was being actively practiced. When if I had a cow, like we'll just go on the very basic. If I had a cow and you had 2 sheep, right? Or I mean, okay, so we'll make this a little bit better. I had 2 cows and you had 4 sheep. We would trade 1 cow for 2 sheep.
Okay.
Because then you would have the meat or the milk, and then I would have the meat from the sheep or the wool.
Yep. Wool.
And it's mutually beneficial.
Right.
As opposed to the Aesir, from the way I understand it, mind you, everybody who practices Asatru will have a different viewpoint from this.
Right, because it's all word of mouth. Same thing with your Celtic.
Exactly. And the way I see it is that the Vanir are more like, let's trade, let's make this mutually beneficial. But the Aesir is like, look, both of these cows and all 4 of these sheep are mine, but I will allow you to have some of them. But at the end of the day, if I want them, they're mine. So they're mine. Thor
I never
is part of the
Oh, well,
theory.
yeah, Thor. He's crazy. In all the tales, he is crazy.
He's crazy, but at the end of the day, he's what stops most of the chaos.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, Jesus, he yeah, he's a little aggressive.
Well, he has to be, because Loki's involved with him a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tales of Thor and Loki going on adventures. And Loki starts a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And Thor's the one that has to mitigate the downfall before the positive comes back from Loki making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, there are times, though, when Loki's chaos actually it ends up with something good. He doesn't really realize it, but there are some benefits to his chaos. He is the trickster deity. He is a Jotun, but he is still the trickster deity.
Exactly. And I have talked to quite a few people who think, or who want nothing to do with Loki, right? They refuse to have Loki's name involved in anything. They actually get mad at you if you bring Loki into it.
Well,
however, what they don't understand is Odin himself said, if there's a mug for me, there will always be a mug for you. They are blood brothers because of the fact that they made a blood pact.
Okay.
I mean, they made a blood oath. I actually remember there was one bloat I was involved in that our oath ring actually got broke because nobody invoked Loki.
Okay, bloat, oath ring. Now you're gonna have to bring me back on that one.
Yep. So a bloat is essentially a ritual, and you raise a horn. To the first one would be that you raise a horn to the gods. The next one sorry, I went upstairs and I had to shut the kid's door.
No, that's fine.
That you have to raise a horn. I mean, so just how my bloats go. You raise a horn to the gods, allow the gods to have a drink, and then the second round, you raise a horn to those that you have, or you raise a horn for your loved ones that are not with you right now, either physically or because they have passed on. And then the third one is a boast.
Okay.
The second and third one could be switched, as always. But at the same time, a horn, an example of that would be
right. Okay.
An actual
horn,
drinking horn. This is mine.
Nice. Okay.
I actually love it. There's been a lot of meat gone through here.
I bet. So are you going to start making your own mead is my question.
I just got my own place. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to start. 100%. I would too.
I just need to find the right stuff to make it with, because I'm not going to have it be cheap either.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I get that.
I mean, I also need to start it on a holiday.
Oh, really?
I mean, there's just more energy on holidays.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, technically, I could start it whenever I want. It's just, if I'm going to be making mead, like, I'm not going to be making a stupid amount because I don't want to get yelled at.
Why?
For drinking too much.
Oh, I was gonna say you got to do a test batch, and then if you figure it out, then you're like, oh, okay, you know, test batch.
Very true. Very true.
Plus, eventually, if you really eventually, if you really get into it, then you can start selling some. I know there's going to be a client base for it. What?
That is true. You're cutting in and out right now.
You're going away. You're like, that's okay. Honestly, tech gremlins and Wi-Fi signal is probably getting weird too.
Very true. But
remember, baby,
okay,
we
so
got
there was.
Mercury retrograde and the eclipse. All tech is going to be wild.
I also have been talking about Loki, so
Yeah, chaos. No, I've done a little work with Loki in the past. It was to help out a friend, and he was the only deity that would do the job. He was the only one, and he was actually pretty cool to work with. I wouldn't do it on a day-to-day basis, but he was very cool. And he only asked for a very simple offering. Good guy, and he actually helped my friend out with the trouble she was going through. She ended up in a pretty rough spot metaphysically. And I don't generally do deity work, but when I do, I know I have to give something in order to get it. So.
Yeah, I've done work with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times that's what I've had to give him. There's been times where I have given a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Loki and I are very iffy, to say the least.
I'm always
it's
wary.
weird. My deity that I have the most luck with, which is going to sound really off the wall, which is okay because I only wear Vans, is Heimdall.
No, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, a lot of people have said that Heimdall is a very aloof, very distant god. He is extremely difficult to work with, but every single time I have called upon him, and like even the gods that you call upon on a regular basis, like it'll be like 7 times out of 10 you actually get them. Like every single time I've called upon Heimdall, he has always been there and always helped me figure my own shit out. Because that's the thing with the Norse gods, is that they're not going to help you if you're not going to help yourself.
Yes, and that is one thing.
It sounds extremely blunt and extremely horrible, but that's just how it is. Because back when the Norse were reigning, if you weren't going to do the work for yourself, if you were just going to sit there and be lazy, why help you? You're one of the you're the weak chain in the link. You're going to all you're going to do is make the rest of the village die. Because they're working their ass off to help to what, feed you? No, that's not going to happen. I mean, it's really blunt, and it might sound kind of brutal, but I mean, that's how it is. But no, like Heimdall has always helped me, but at the same time, over these last couple months, especially, like it started to make sense to me, because I mean, I'm the Jarl of my kindred. I'm the one that, I mean, so to go so let's go back onto one of the original questions, because neither of us are squirrel brained at all, right?
We're just going to keep moving, and once we get some questions or comments, that'll help kind of ground the flow.
Very true.
So anybody out there watching, ask questions. Tech gremlins. Okay, if a deity wants to ask a question, you're actually going to have to get somebody to type it in the comments, Loki or otherwise. So go get one of your followers to type it into the comments.
On accident. That's not what just happened. No. So for my kindred, one of the reasons I made it was because I mean, a part of the bloats and the ceremonies and everything that I was a part of, one of my brothers and I, actually my brother and I, ended up looking at it and being like, you know what, we want to be able to continue this because, I mean, to be 100% honest, like, I mean, I came to this path when I was in prison, and everybody that I actually had a connection with and everything, you know, they got 20 years left in prison minimum.
Oh my God.
You know, if they're even going home, and
Jesus.
I mean, half of them aren't. But one of my brothers and I, you know, I mean, we only had like a year left in, so we were just like, okay, well, let's make our own kindred. So because we want to be able to have the same energy, and we wanted to have the same vibes that of everybody is like-minded when we have our bloats and when we have our holidays and everything, you know. So that's why we did it.
Now explain to me what a kindred is. I did a little, like, really tiny explanation. You explain it. You're gonna do it better.
So a kindred, there's a lot of different names for kindreds. You could call it a hearth, but essentially, you could call it a family, whatever. Okay. At the end of the day, if any of you are familiar with Celtic aspects, I mean, it's essentially a coven. Okay. I mean, it's a group of people who practice the same religion and have the same overall mindset about it.
Now, can they worship different deities, stuff like that?
Yeah, we all worship different deities. However, our main one is always going to be Tyr.
Okay.
For my kindred in itself, my kindred Shining Ram.
Now, another question. Can somebody start another kindred that, say, worships Freya? Okay. Let's say Freya, but you guys are still, you still meet, you still clan, all that stuff.
Yeah. So the kindred that we actually, so it's actually kind of funny because my hammer was made by one of my brothers that got gifted to me. And I actually gifted him my hammer. They're Odinists, and I mean, we're Tyrists. But at the end of the day, any of them get out and they want a kindred to go to, they always have a place with us. Or if any of us, per se, gets incarcerated again, then we have a place with them all the time, like no matter what, no questions asked.
Okay. But you don't have to have been to prison or anything like that.
No.
To be in this.
No. So one of the things that we have is that you can't be gang affiliated.
Now tell me a little more about that.
So the reasoning behind that is because if you're gang affiliated, I mean, the way that we see it is that a lot of people do come to a Satru because it is primarily white people.
Okay. And
there are a lot of our symbols that get used by the white power.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's a touchy subject, but most of the Asatru that I've met aren't like that.
And that's, I understand that. And that's how a lot of people I have too. But when you look at it, like, there have been quite a few that I have met that, and just going up to group when I was in prison, that only went up there because it was that. Now, we don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. If you truly believe in the Norse and you follow the Norse and you connect with it, you're welcome with me. I don't care if you're Black. I don't care if you're Mexican or Asian, whatever, you know.
Right.
If you're willing to do the work, you're willing to learn the runes, you're willing to learn the lore, you have a home with me, you know, and that's how I see it. That's how my brother sees it.
Spirituality has no color.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
At the end of the day, we're a soul traveling through a
meat suit.
body.
Having trouble hearing you?
What about now?
You're good. I can
Okay,
hear you
yeah,
now.
that's probably because I wasn't. Jesus Christ. My girl just messaged me, knowing that I have this right now.
Don't worry about it, man. You should have seen the thing last night. Everybody was popping in. You muted your mic.
Let's try this. No, this thing told me that I couldn't have my chat bubbles up anymore, so.
What? Okay. What? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah, you're good. You're fine. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
I can't hear you. Oh, now.
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Sorry, no, it was the audio back to me.
Okay.
Because my chat bubble popped up and then it just screwed everything up because
it happens.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say, last night, I mean, Dennis is calling me freaking out because of his dad's hotel reservation. They couldn't find him. My mom's coming down. My son's trying to run through the background naked. It was chaos. Don't worry about it.
Okay, fair enough.
You check on your kid as many times as you want. You take the calls when you need to. It's good. Okay?
I gave him a couple milligrams of melatonin. He out for at least an hour and a half before he wakes up.
Damn. I do not
always
like
on
fucking around with melatonin.
Oh no, we had to.
Yeah. One of those, huh? Yeah. I get it. No. You got an energy ball. You're the little wee.
Oh no, that's only in the mornings at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Nah, I got a night owl over here, and actually he has night terrors. And so, because he had surgeries when he was young, and well, night terrors and psychic kids go hand in hand. But what a friend of mine recommended, and I discovered, catnip tea before bed. If he's had a lot of stress and a lot of problems, he will chug a cup, no sugar, no honey, no nothing. And by the way, catnip tastes terrible. He'll drink it, and it's mild enough that either he or I can use it. For humans, catnip relaxes us. You know when hippies used to think that catnip made them hallucinate when they were doing weed? It wasn't that. The catnip was relaxing them enough for them to do other stuff. Catnip is a sleep aid. Best 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep you will ever get in your life. Drink a cup of catnip before you go to bed, but make sure you can have at least 4 hours of sleep.
I might have to have that for myself.
Yeah, believe me. No, in 2019, I started getting anxiety attacks before I went to bed. And I was having to take valerian root. I was having to do everything. I found essential oils to help. But then things started leveling off. Valerian root will get you down, but the catnip will actually help you coast, stay level.
Yeah.
And you wake up like, the world is beautiful because you actually got down deep enough into sleep. You weren't just drugged to sleep. You just got down deep enough.
Yeah, I wish I could have. The only thing I see with that is that I have a cat. The moment that bag gets opened up, it's over.
You keep that stuff on the very, very top. Well, actually, keep it in your fridge. Ziploc in the fridge.
Fair enough.
when you've had a really rough day, and I don't know if you have anxiety or anything, but for me, when it starts to get really, really bad and my stress gets really bad, or if Arthur's gets really bad, what I'll do is I'll take 3 tablespoons of catnip, the herb, I swear, and I'll put
Yeah.
it in hot water, I drain it out, and he drinks it. He and I half a 10-ounce glass.
Huh.
We lay down, snuggle up. I co-sleep with him because of the night terrors. It's the only way to keep him calm and level. But no, we'll snuggle up. We'll be out. We both wake up 6, 7 hours later. It's like, hello, Dawn. How are you? We're not morning people, but it's great. So yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I used to be that way, and then I started working in the union, and now 5 a.m. is my wake up. Super fun. I mean, shit. I slept in today, and I woke up. I still woke up at 6:30.
Oh God. Lots of coffee. I would need a lot of coffee to do that.
I had 2 cups, and then I started drinking other things around 10.
Yeah. I get it though. Yeah.
It's my day off. I
Yeah.
moved last weekend. I look at it as I haven't had a day off in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah. You just wanted to chill out.
I did a pretty good job at it.
Good job. Anyways, so back to everything. Keep going with where we were at.
See, that's a funny thing. I don't know where we were at.
Oh God. You were talking about the rules and regulations laid down by Odin for the Vikings.
Oh, the Havamal.
Yep.
So the Havamal is technically, I mean, so it's on. I mean, it's one section of a story that was first written down by Snorri.
Okay.
It is in the Poetic Edda. It's in about every Edda that you can find.
Now tell me what an Edda is, and tell me who Snorri is.
Snorri Snorkelson is the Christian back in the 900 BC,
Okay.
or around that century.
Mm-hmm.
Started writing down all of the sagas and epics that have been passed down by word of mouth from the Norse.
Okay.
That was around the time as well when the Christians, Christians, Catholics, whatever you want to look at it or see them as, started conquering and overtaking everything. Started spreading through Europe. That's who Snorri was. He wrote that everything down, and I mean, at the same time, you got to look at it is because he was a Christian. He did alter some of the stories themselves to make it more Christianized.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we don't exactly know everything that was originally written down or that was told or passed down from word of mouth. Mind you, that was over 1,000 years ago.
Right.
So even if it was, or even if we did just hear the story passed down from the word of mouth, it's still going to be altered because we all know the game telephone.
Yep. Game of telephone.
Yep. Now, the Havamal itself is the words of Odin. It can be broken into 3 sections. The first section could be, or I mean, the way it is how to handle yourself as an individual. It's the most mundane and basic way, or like code of conduct. Essentially, the Havamal is essentially, I mean, it's a code of conduct. needless to say. The second one is how to handle yourself like in the community.
Okay.
And then the third one is how to handle yourself in a spiritual manner. It is the most difficult to the third section is the most difficult to understand because it is essentially saying how Odin was or ended up deceiving a Jotun to get what he wanted.
Okay.
However, there is a lesson in there if you dig into it and do a lot of thinking,
Okay.
which sometimes hurts my brain.
Look at that. Mine too.
There's a reason why most of the time I read the Havamal, I just skip that section because I'm like, I don't want to do that amount of thinking.
Now, where can you find the Havamal so people can actually get an idea of it? Things like that.
So the Havamal can be found in quite a few books. Actually, there's the Poetic Edda. There's the Odinist Edda. That one's broken up into two different sections, however, which does help out because the third section is broken off and it's at the beginning of the book as opposed to all together. But then the first part is in the back end of the book, and it's just confusing. And at the same time, the Odinist Edda is not necessarily the Edda you would want to use to when you're beginning unless you have somebody guiding you, because of the fact that nothing is labeled, none of the stories are being told like, hey, this is the Heimdallr, or this is the Havamal, or this is the Grimsoner. It's really confusing if you're just reading it through. I myself have not actually read the Odinist Edda through and through, only because of the fact that it's monotonous. There's a lot of repeating, and at the same time, like one of the ways that the Norse ended up going about being like, hey, this is how smart I am, is saying a lot of similes. So it's a lot of repetitive mumbo jumbo. Yeah. I myself do use the Odinist Edda only because of the fact that I have not found a Tyrism Edda. The moment I find a Tyrism Edda, like I'm buying that. However, at the end of the day, Odin, I do have a very, very deep sense of respect for Odin because he sacrificed himself multiple times. Yeah. He has one of the two halls that we go to or that the worthy go to when they die. Right. I have no ill intentions towards him. I love him and I respect him, but at the end of the day, it's still Tyr for me.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about Norse theories of the afterlife. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So, Norse afterlife is extremely interesting because when you die, you go to hell, but it's not the fire and brimstone that everybody assumes. You go to hell because that's where you go to get judged. You go to get judged by one of Loki's 3 children, whose name is Hel. And one of two things, either technically one of 3 things would happen. Either you just stay in hell and that's where you're at, or you go to or Odin could select you go to Asgard and that's where you'll go. However, what a lot of people don't realize is that Freya, who is one of the Vanir, chooses half of the worthy fallen as well. And then you would go to her home, which would be Folkvang. which is essentially the same thing as Asgard. However, it's just veneer.
Okay.
It would be the veneer aspect of Asgard.
Okay.
Or if if you've lived like a horrible life, you're just a straight POS. You stay in hell. You go to Niflhel. But you can work your way up to get reborn again.
Okay. So they do believe in reincarnation?
Yes, we do.
Oh wow.
Because you'll live your life until you're worthy enough.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
The Norse are very forgiving in that aspect because, I mean, we can be nice every now and again. We're not always just straight assholes.
No, but I was never clear on the Norse view of reincarnation. So that's cool.
Yep. So the only way you cannot be reincarnated is if you end up in Niflhel.
Okay.
Which means that you're the worst of the worst. There's no redemption for you.
Okay.
That's the only way you cannot be reincarnated.
Okay. And you probably don't end up there if you just steal a donut, huh?
No.
Yeah.
No, you gotta. It's not even one of those things that you can do in a single lifetime. You won't end up in Niflhel in a single lifetime. It has to be multiple reincarnations.
It's like, you have messed up again. All right, get down there and stay there, kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you said that you would prefer. Go ahead. If you need to go. It's all right. Go check.
No, that might be my neighbor. I mean, we're on duplex, so I still don't know who is who.
No worries.
Okay, cool. It was a neighbor. I'm still not used to the noises.
No, I completely understand. All right. So we've covered a little bit about the afterlife. We've covered about this and that. What now? Covered the kindred. Covered. Now, what are your goals? What do you hope to achieve with this kindred?
I want a space that everybody feels comfortable to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how weird you are, not how weird you are, how weird you think you are.
Kitty.
Oh, hi, Garfy.
All
He
right.
is a literal Garfield, by the way.
Okay.
Nice. He's probably about to walk over to his food bowl and start meowing at me because he thinks he's hungry, even though he's already been fed.
Oh, yeah.
But no, so with my kindred, I want to be able to have a space that everybody is comfortable. Everybody is comfortable with having debates,
mm-hmm.
because I know there's a lot of places where you don't agree about everything.
Yeah.
And instead of being able to sit there and talk to people to understand your perception of what is going on, it just ends up turning into an argument, and it's essentially a hostile environment.
Yeah.
What I am wanting is for people who might not necessarily agree on a certain topic to be able to understand why other people have their opinion and their viewpoint on something,
right,
and be able to accept it, as opposed to just getting pissed off and just wanting to fight about it.
Yeah, and no progress is made once you get to that space on anything.
Exactly. And that's one of the good things, or that's one of the things that I like about the Norse paganism, is the fact that everything is up to interpretation. Nothing is technically set in stone, even though physically rune carvings are set in stone. But but it's more of we have the basic core knowledge. We have the basic understanding that is similar. At the end of the day, you know, we're still going to do what we can for our brothers and sisters, no matter who you are. If you're willing to put in the work, you know, and you're willing to be kindred, you know, like we got you at the end of the day. Doesn't matter if we don't have the same belief or if we don't have the same mindset behind, or not the same mindset, because we all have the same mindset. It's if we don't look at literally everything the same, because we're humans at the end of the day. We're not going to see everything the exact same.
No.
You know, and that's the thing that I like about my kindred, is that we have different perceptions of things, and that's just how it is. We can't change that, but at the very base core aspect of it, we have the same belief.
I was gonna say, do you ever watch any Star Trek?
I'm a Star Wars dude.
Okay. Well, Star Trek, the Vulcans, they have the IDIC, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. And I think that's kind of where you're going with that.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, are you going to hold a class to teach people how to debate instead of fist fight? Because that is one of the first things you are going to have to do. I can guarantee you, with any subject matter, politics, religion,
those are the two main ones.
Yeah, even sandwiches, pets, anything. And especially nowadays, everybody wants to fight. And it's like, dude, seriously.
Yeah, and see, that's the bad thing about being, I mean, I guess that's the bad thing about being Norse, because we are a warrior race. We are a warrior people. At the end of the day, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, the Vanir are very nature based and very peaceful. However,
they like a good
we
fist
still
fight
get down.
Just anybody else. But at the same time, in this day and age, you know, it's a little bit different.
The Vanir did have a whole lot more patience than the Asir. The Asir was, oh, you're not going with us? Okay, let's go. The Vanir will actually sit there. The Vanir will actually sit down with you for about 20 minutes before they start slaying people. Like,
you got 20 minutes, make it good. And that's another thing. As a Norse pagan, your spiritual beliefs, how does that affect your day-to-day outlook? How does it change where you were, where you are now, and how you interact with different people around you?
So that's the funny thing, right? Because being Norse, I mean, I've only been practicing the Norse path for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. However, like, another way of being Norse, or being any of the old religions, you know, I mean, one of the descriptions is that you're a heathen.
Mm-hmm.
Because heathen is essentially outside of law, you know.
Interesting.
And I've always been that way. It doesn't matter, like, what time of my life. Like, I've always been a heathen. And for the longest time, I was mad. Like, I would get pissed off when people told me that I was a heathen. I'm like, I'm not a heathen. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
and then I started looking at what it was, and like the definitions of it and everything, you know. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I am. Mm-hmm. And it's probably been within the last year, like, I've actually accepted being a heathen.
Right.
And it's, I mean, being a heathen is very closely related to anarchy. Mm-hmm. And it's not the burning flags and riding down with the big ass lifted truck shooting fucking AK-47s out the windows type anarchy. No. You know, it's true anarchy, which is outside of a structured organization, you know, and it's finding peace within yourself and finding peace within your community. And that, I mean, if you want to take that onto being a heathen, you know, it's like I do that with myself. Like I follow the old laws. I follow the old way that people were done. You know, somebody comes to my house, you know, the first thing I do is offer them a drink.
Okay.
You know, people come into your house, and the first thing you do is you offer them a drink and you offer them food.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, like, hey, are you hungry? You thirsty? That's
Hmm.
the first thing you do when somebody walks in. It doesn't matter who they are. You know, I mean, shit, they were moving my couch in today, and the first thing I was like, y'all, you guys thirsty? No,
Nice.
don't know these people one bit. You know, don't even know their names, and just, you guys thirsty? You guys want something?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it's done. Um, at the same time, you got to make sure, like, you know where your weapons are. Doesn't matter if it's a baseball bat or not. You keep them within a foot of your. It's set in the Hofmall.
Now, that's another thing. As a Norse pagan, what are your views on self-defense, weaponry, things like that?
You got to do what you got to do to keep your family safe.
Yep.
Now, mind you, legally, I'm not allowed to own guns because I am a felon.
Mm-hmm.
Illegally, I do not. I still don't own guns. I got a 5-year-old.
Yeah. No, I know.
Now, that's not saying that I could own guns, but like, I don't know. These last couple months, I mean, it's just my life before I went to prison this last time, and my life now are two different things. And like, I'm so much happier with how everything is now. Like, I don't need to do any of the illegal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even smoke weed anymore. Like,
That's the awesome thing about going down a path of spirituality. It can really change your life.
yeah,
It was always funny because even at my old location for my shop, I had a guy teaching self-defense courses, and everybody was like, "You own a new age shop?" I'm like, "Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to get jumped and mugged." You know,
exactly.
I grew
I
up,
mean,
with a lot of guns around, knives, swords. It makes sense.
I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, that are still running the streets today.
Wow.
That is like, I mean, I've had a lot of friends. I mean, even me myself, you know, I've had guns pulled on me,
Mm.
you know, over less than $100 worth of stuff, you know,
Wow.
and it's like, what's the point of it, bro? It's $100.
I
I
know.
personally don't. I don't see it. If you're not making 10K, why do it?
Yeah.
You know, your bail is going to be. You pull the trigger, bro. Your bail is a minimum of 100,000. You know, that's the way. I mean, just because I know. I mean, a murder charge is $1 million bond. You know,
Oh my
why
God.
are you doing it for anything under that?
Yeah, that's true. I very sensible.
So you're telling me your life is worth $100, bro? Go for it then.
Yeah.
If I'm going to die right now, that's because the guys wanted me to.
Yeah.
It's my time. Okay, cool. I'm not going to do it for that.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. But, there are plenty of places that people get shot over a lot less. Shot, stabbed,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yep.
Um,
At the same time, I see it as you have to stand up for yourself.
right.
Mind you, you're in a life or death situation like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be you. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm very aware of how to disarm somebody. I'm very aware of how to disarm somebody and beat them with their own gun.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, God. Honestly.
funny thing is, at the end of the day, I just got myself a gun. However, it's not worth it.
No, none of it is.
There are a whole lot of people who will pull a gun on you and won't pull the trigger. They're just doing it as a fear tactic. You do need to know how to fight. You do need to stay physically fit.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I say that as I'm nowhere near physically fit.
one of the things about being Norse is that you do stay physically fit. Because I mean, 1,000 years ago, you know, like, they were either farmers, they were either farming crops, they were farming the land, They were farming animals. They were woodworkers. You know, they were or I mean, they were doing something for their community.
Right.
And woodworking back then, they didn't have drills.
Oh.
They didn't have a power drill. You couldn't plug something into the wall or put in a battery and drill it out. No, they had to do it all by hand. You know, those guys had forearms like Popeye.
Yeah. So, would you say the Norse spirituality is a lot more community based?
Yes.
Okay.
You learn a lot. So you can read the stories. You can read everything. You can do all the work. You can do everything. But if you actually want the basis of it and the true experience of it, you have to be around others.
Right.
Because you can know the runes, you can have a relationship with the runes because the runes are a living thing. You can have a relationship with the gods. I mean, you know, that's all good and everything. However, if you don't do anything with it, you know, it's just like if you work out, if you're I mean, yeah, you can work out, look good, but you stay at home all day. What's the point?
Health, I guess. I don't know.
Too much working out though is bad for you.
That's true.
You know, you still need to relax. You still need to, and that's another thing about the community aspect. You know, the community aspect, yeah, you can relax with those that are like minded, which in that point it's you're relaxing your mentality. Because instead of going out into a community of people that don't share your beliefs and don't share your mindset, you're around others that you know share your beliefs and mindset.
That's true. That's true.
So then on a higher level you can actually relax.
Very true. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you, girl.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
Waiting for her to type back. And then on the other aspect, Amanda Winter, hi there. On the other aspect, the runes. Thoughts on those, using them for magical purposes? I mean, I always recommend people when they're getting into sigil work and sigil magic to start with the runes because they are so straight and to the point. There's no real way to corrupt a rune versus other sigils that can come from different places and mean something completely different. And Amanda Winter says, doing very well. Well, good,
I see
Amanda.
that.
I'm glad to hear that.
It is popping up on mine as well. So with the runes, and it's kind of funny too because my girlfriend, actually, is she my girlfriend? No, she's technically my fiance, I guess you would say.
Your lady?
Yeah. So she asked me about a month and a half ago if we could make a bind rune.
Okay.
And I told her no. And she got mad at me for a little bit. But then she came back and she was like, why won't you make a bind rune with me? And I was like, well, here's the thing. You use a different rune set than I do.
Okay.
You know, I mean, she's Celtic. And I use the Elder Truth Arc.
Okay.
Yes, they are another form of divination.
But they were originally an alphabet.
They were. I feel because I myself I have done tarot. I have actually an entirely way too many tarot decks compared to my rune sets. But I look at it as so Odin gave his left eye, right eye. Odin gave his right eye for knowledge of the runes, right?
Okay.
And with that, the fact that he gave a sacrifice to the runes and ends up saying that the runes themselves uh, are a living entity, which means that you have to respect them. And a lot of people see it as, I mean, it's almost kind of like a Ouija board. You know, like people look at a Ouija board and they think, oh, this is just a fun thing to do every now and again, right? No, you can fuck up a lot of shit with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. I mean, shit, I didn't understand that for a while.
Huh.
And the thing with runes, like when I was learning them, like I made, like I wrote each rune. I wrote the meaning. I wrote the English letter of it, you know, the number for it down on a piece of paper. I sat there and for 10 to 15 minutes each day for 3 days, I would sit there and meditate about it. And after the second day, I ended up giving my blood and blooded them as my offering. And it was weird because between the second and third day, I, like, after I blooded them, I learned and felt a lot more. And I would sit there after each set of meditation and then write down what came to me. And the weird thing is, like, I never looked at the meaning before. I mean, minus when I wrote it down, you know, like when I was meditating, I never looked at the meaning of it.
Okay.
But then everything I wrote down corresponded with the meaning of it.
Nice.
And I mean, it's, which means that like I connected with the rune, and you know, I mean that's just how I ended up learning the runes. I'm not going to say that that's how everybody should learn it. However, go about it with a respect.
Yes.
Don't just jump into it. Don't start pulling runes because it's fun.
But I do have a lot of people do that at the shop, so just so as you know.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Have respect for it at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I pull a rune every morning.
Really?
I mean, I have a set of sunstone runes. Actually, mine today was Manaz.
Nice. Now tell us a little bit about that one. And Amanda, runes are your favorite to make. That's awesome. What do you use to make them? Resin, wood, clay? Tell us more. So tell us a little bit about Manaz.
So Manaz is mankind.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, actually, it essentially looks like two peas put together. One of them is front and one of them's back. Now, so when runes were carved back in the day, they were carved at an angle. Nothing was actually cut into the wood straight because of the fact.
Resin and herbs and flowers from my garden. Neat.
What kind of herbs or flowers?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But when they were cut into wood, because essentially what happened was the runes were, I mean, somebody would find a fallen tree, they would carve some rune. I mean, they would cut it up really quick, and then carve runes into it, and then do a pull, and then they would essentially just toss it, you know, because of how often it was used back then. But nothing was carved straight. None of the stuff was into.
Can you keep going? I gotta go check on my kid. Be right back.
Yep. Okay. Nothing was actually carved into the wood up and down because the wood grains would end up interfering with the grains in itself, and then it would have split the wood. But so Manaz is mankind. It's a balance between. It's a balance of energies. You got the masculine and the feminine, And because of that, you can't have one or the other. You know, I mean, you have the two energies that essentially are one, which is where Manaz comes from. It's mankind, humankind. It, I mean, it's life as we know it. It's going to be one, or it's one energy that we as humans perceive as dual. However, it's still singular, which I think is crazy and fantastic. Okay, thank you. You're back. I ran it. I was literally just dragging that out until you got back.
Sorry, man. I told you. Okay. I actually did the show at your shop in November. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Amanda. Wait a minute. November. Which vendor are you? Because I'm wondering if November. Are you the one with the awesome, like, black onyxy crow that I have on hold that I'm supposed to pay you for? But January was just disgusting sales-wise, so I didn't get back to anybody. Is that you? Tell me. Let me know.
Wait, hold up. Did I hear Black Onyx Crow?
Well, it's either a crow or a raven, but it's gorgeous.
I need two of them.
Okay. Yes, you are. Hi, Amanda. God, I keep getting your name wrong. That's so strange. Awesome. And she's like, yes. It's like, no.
I need two ravens.
January, February we're just, I don't even want to discuss them. I'm just done. January and February have not been awesome. Okay, mystical winners.
Hold on, let's just take a break really quick and look at how cute my cat is.
Aww, cute kitty.
Are you camera shy now? This is the first time that's happened. Chill out.
Hola. Hi.
The best thing is if I touch his belly right now, he will attack me. Like,
oh my god. Please don't do that on camera. Although it would be fun to watch. No, don't
it would. Like, I mean, my arms get cut up enough at work. I don't think anybody would notice.
So, Amanda, do you have any questions for Welso? Any burning things you want to know about the Norse pagan traditions? And also, he wants 2 of your black onyx ravens. So,
if the price is right. I did just move, so it'd be nice.
I know, right? Believe me, we've all gotten trolled and pranked by the universe this year. It's been a whole year these past few months.
It's been a whole year this last month. What are you talking about? Not these last few.
No, seriously, it's been bad since COVID, okay? And then last September it was like, wow, really bad. And then January was like, hold my beer, we're gonna turn this up 6 notches. And then it just kept going, and I'm like, what the hell? Everybody's like, okay, maybe the Chinese New Year will bring us good luck. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of scared right now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Literally, Matt from D-Part, I didn't realize how bad his car accident was. This chick, he was picking up his kid from school. This chick literally plowed into one car and drove that car into Matt's car and jumped him over the sidewalk with him and his son in it. Yeah. Can't hear you.
Well, I lost audio again. Hold on.
You're good. You're back.
Okay, cool. Yep, I am back. My girl just called me. She ended up going out with a friend tonight. I told her I had this at 8, so.
Okay.
I mean, it is an hour and a half. She probably thought it was over, but I'm chilling. I told her I had nothing going on tonight.
Okay, Amanda Winter, lol. I think I have two. Check out the website, wintersmysticalcave.life. Okay,
I
nifty.
definitely will have to check it out.
She's actually got a lot of fun products. I wanted the Raven, but it was a choice between the Raven and the Voodoo Doll incense holder. And I picked the Voodoo Doll because I'm like, oh my God, that one was just, I've got another little one at home. And so kind of putting them together.
See, if I get one Raven, I have to get two, solely because of the fact of Hunin and Moonin.
Yeah. Yes, Amanda. Yeah. He knows. No, and I really liked her rune sets just because they were so pretty, but and Amanda,
I mean, I'm always down to get more rune sets too.
She makes some really nifty ones, actually. You should definitely check her out. Just restocked them. Cool. Awesome. And then, yeah, I still want to pick up a Raven and one of the bigger ones because I really like it. It was like, hey.
What size of Ravens do you have?
Okay, hold on. One's like that, and then the other one's like this.
Yeah, I definitely have to get bigger ones only because of the
I was gonna say at least, and I think the bigger one was like $60. I think, but she'd be.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's really considering.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Comics,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I was just hoping it was. I mean, hearing that it's only 2 figures is a whole lot better than the 3 I was thinking of.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? But and you're welcome, Amanda. I love your stuff. I love your work, and I'm sorry I couldn't pick up the stuff I had on hold. It's been a year. These past couple of months. I don't know about you, Amanda, but for me and for most of the people I know, one of the ladies, she does Reiki infused resin paintings. She's done a lot with the shop. Her man, his car just got totaled. Yeah. I'm seeing a trend. I believe I have one about 5-inch and one 3-inch. Yep. I think he and I are both looking at the 5-inch, so.
Yep. Most definitely. If you can make bigger, I'd take like 12. 12 to 18.
Wow, Amanda, yes, been very slow. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, and that's what I keep hearing from everybody. Small businesses getting their butt kicked. Everybody's getting their butt kicked.
That's one of the, I mean, because like I actually want to start my own skate label, and that's one of the things that's been. I'm gonna chill on that. I'm gonna do some union stuff.
I'd probably start laying out the groundwork.
Yeah, no, I'm probably going to just end up. I mean, see, the thing with starting up a skate label though is that like the machines to
keeping my day job. Boards,
yeah. Yep, that's what I'm doing. The machine, and that's the thing about my small business I want to start is that like the machines to actually be able to make them, like they're so expensive. Like,
oh yeah,
the laminator for the wood is like the cheapest one I found is still like $60,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Actually, it's not that I don't know. I know I can't do that right now.
I was going to say, are there any companies that can print your designs and stuff and drop ship them for you?
The thing is, like, I myself want to make the boards. I'm not so worried about the designs at the moment.
Okay.
Like, it's just making the boards themselves, like pressing the wood.
Wow.
Laminate or like gluing the wood together.
You're really wanting to do this from the ground up. Holy cow. Okay. Do well in person, but the website is crazy slow.
That seems kind of like not to be offensive or anything. That kind of seems backwards because you would think in today's age, online would do better than in person.
Online is flooded. Online is.
That is true.
Overdone.
That is very true.
Think about it. Everybody that doesn't have to have a brick and mortar, home-based, or anybody that just wants to start up a hobby can do it now via online.
That's true.
It's just
okay, that makes sense.
Bubble has just, but the thing about the bubble is it's going to retract. It's going to pop. So it's going to get interesting. Oh, yeah. Yes, flooded on Etsy. Yeah, I won't use Etsy anymore after what they did to me. They were literally selling stuff, waiting 3 weeks to tell me, refunding the customer, so it cost me more money because they're charging me fees and refunding and pissing off my customers. They were great until they did an update, and then so now I just have digital downloads on there. I'm not doing anything physical with Etsy anymore.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
It was. My customers are pissed off, yelling at me, and I'm like, I didn't even know about this. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and people undercut each other. Yeah, and you have that anywhere. You have that in person. Well, it's a little bit more difficult in person because you got that intimidation factor. I remember one time we were at a show. And my husband, he says hi to everybody. He's this happy little Gemini horse. So he's just out there doing his thing, moving and grooving and being happy. And he said hi to somebody, and they turned around and looked at another person's booth, and the guy was like, ah! And he's like, chill out. I just said hi. He's like, I thought you were sniping from our booth. And I just looked at the dude, and the dude, we know the couple. And I was like, dude, of course we're sniping from your booth. Now move them on over here. Come on. Recommend some of our stuff. This is how this works. And he started laughing, He was also the same guy I told everybody was teaching a twerking class. He had a bad back. But he was a good guy. I miss him. He passed away. But no, it's a little bit tougher to undercut each other in person, but online, the anonymity of online selling and commenting and discussion has led to some good things, but it's also led to a lot of bad.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. My girl's been messaging me and calling me and everything, and I'm like, look, so I got like a maximum of like an hour or of like half an hour.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna have to hop off pretty soon because I'm actually super hungry. So I'm gonna go.
That works with
just
me.
Eat a bunch of chicken and potatoes and carrots.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's
exactly,
perfectly fine with
and
me.
I can speak to the materials I use, all handmade and grown in my yard. See, and that's
just talked to one of my neighbors about
not many people
starting a garden because she's been talking about it for a while.
That's awesome. If I didn't have a black thumb, I would definitely start a garden.
Crap.
And Amanda, that is one thing I tell everybody, because a lot of people will come in and go, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, baby, everybody is doing what I do. The only way you can do it is to set yourself apart, which means you got to find your niche, which means you got to find what makes you unique. And yeah, they hate hearing that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, you got to find your own way to do it. But no, seriously, why is somebody going to buy something that's exactly the same? Find your own way to do it. Make it unique. Hell, I'll probably buy something off you.
Yeah. But yes, so back on the topic at hand. As everybody knows, I'm Welso. That's my Facebook too.
That's the other thing. How do people get in touch with you if they want to join your kindred?
So,
or at least want to ask or learn or
something. So to start the process to join my kindred, because my kindred in itself, it's not, there's a couple of things you have to do, and that's only because we want to make sure that you're actually serious about it. We don't want somebody who it's a fad for them to join, because we do blood oaths, we do a lot of intense magic.
That's scaring me a little bit.
It's not so with the blood magic, it's literally just saying that this is your true path. This is the like what you want to live. I mean, it's not one of those things that you take lightly,
Now for
and we're doing that for the gods.
mhm. Now for the people that actually would like to learn more about it without stepping fully into it, are you guys available for that as well? Would you be willing to give talks about it, stuff like that?
Yes. So we do have, so we will, and we are. I mean, we have been willing to be able to teach everybody. Um, like my brother, he's a rune master, which I mean, he's the one who teaches the runes more. He does Galder, which is a form of magic that does use the runes more than anything. Uh, the only thing with him is he's out in Fort Dodge.
Right.
Like he lives up in Fort Dodge area.
A
So
commitment vow, so to speak.
yeah,
Would that be what the blood oath is?
yeah, yeah. So the blood oath is that we have 3 holidays that we celebrate. The 3 main that no matter what, we will be together on those days.
Okay.
Which are Yule, Imbolc, and Midsummer,
Okay.
which is December 21st, February. Imbolc's February 1st, right? Or is it 21st?
Dude, I am horrible with holidays, okay?
Yeah, no, it's either
Got it.
February 1st or 21st. I can't remember. And then Midsummer is June 21st. Which is, I mean, it's also known as Litha or summer solstice. So the two solstices and the equinox, the
Okay.
spring equinox, is essentially are the 3 holidays that we celebrate.
Okay.
I mean, it's at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to be a blood oath. We only did because of the fact that we started it. We wanted the gods to know that we were serious, that we take it very seriously. At the end of the day, you take oaths, and your oath is your word. It's a very powerful form of your word. However, it's still your word, and you will be held accountable to your word. Like it's more of a, if you don't live by your word, then
Right.
why should I believe anything you say? That's how the Norse looked at it.
Now, my next question is, what if they decide, a few years go down the line, even a decade, something like that? What happens if they find out that Norse paganism is not for them? Can they retract it? Can they retract that vow?
If you've taken oaths, the way I perceive it,
Okay.
I'm not going to speak for my kindred on this. However, I feel that he does look at it the same. You take oaths, no matter how much time has passed, no matter the circumstances, you follow your oaths.
Okay.
Over time, you do change the person. I can't deny that. Things do change, circumstances change. I can't answer this question in the straight cut yes or no that you want,
It's okay. It's just
because it's a very complicated question to answer.
Mhm.
Being a Norse and having the mindset that I do, because I don't ever see me leaving this.
But a lot of people, they can have a bad experience with the religion or the deities or anything like
Yep.
that. And sometimes it's just like, no, I'm just closing that door and I need to move on,
Yep. And I do understand that. But part of the oaths that we take to be part of kindred isn't just to the gods, isn't just to the kindred. It's to each person individually.
Okay.
So to back out on that, would essentially, the way I see it, is telling me to go fuck myself, and I don't like that.
Oh my God, you almost sound like you have your own gang. Anyway, but I mean, and that's another thing. How would you handle?
It is a commitment vow for an oath, like to be for so the oath in itself to be part of kindred is that you're going to look out for yourself, your siblings, the kindred, the gods,
Okay.
and that you are going to continue to grow as a person. It's not just to be the kindred itself. We can't grow as a kindred if we don't grow as people.
Right. And
To
then
get past the mundane everyday life, it's to strive to be a better person.
my next question is, and Amanda has a fair point, but my next question is, how would you settle a really nasty dispute between kindred members? Because that's another thing that would get people to walk away quick. If there's really, I mean, really, 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 really bad. And Amanda, I would think if someone has a change of heart, I'd rather them move on. That is a good point.
I do understand that part. I kind of knew this stuff would pop up too. So my brother kindred, they had to deal with it. There's actually a couple of times that, I mean, I was actually around when some of it happened. There are times where people get kicked out of the kindred because of a couple things.
Okay.
Now, there are times where, like, kindred members, depending on what happens, like, you don't follow up to your vows, you don't follow up to your oath, you don't hold your own word, that you might be quote unquote banished for X amount of time, but after so long, then you can come back, explain yourself, and then make amends. Like if you've been doing good, so like just so to speak, if you've been doing good, but then you slip up for say you slip up for a month or two, start doing really bad, you're not bettering yourself.
Yeah.
For that month or two, so you might get banished for 6 months.
Okay.
Within those 6 months, if you get back up on your feet and everything, then you can come back. Because if you're not going to do the work for yourself, why would we help you?
Right.
It's the same thing with the gods.
Can't be part of a kindred or a coven if they're no longer infested. No love lost, I'd hope.
Yeah.
And that is true.
So
if you're not
I do understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, and at the same time with that though, it's not that, like, we would understand if you step away, you're not taking part in everything, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be one of our siblings. You're still going to be part of it. Like it's not one of those things that like we're still going to have a form of respect, and especially if you come about it, depending on how you handle it. If you just come up and be like and just flat out say like, hey, it's been this long, I just can't click with it anymore, and you're brutally honest about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing, as opposed to if you just start doing like little things every now and again, like just dropping little hints. Like, no, just be blunt about it.
Yeah, be honest, be upfront.
We would handle it a lot different than if you just dropping little hints every now and again.
Okay. And on a side note, good God, that guy had his music up so loud it actually rang through the street, through my front room, and into this room. Holy cow. I'm kind of worried for his ears. Anyway.
I'm that kind of person, not gonna lie.
All right. Well, my dear, I'm sorry, but I am getting really hungry and my eyes are killing me. I normally don't need these. These are my illustrator glasses. But oh my God. All right. I'm done for the night, Welso.
All right, you're good. Yeah, if you guys want to get a hold of me, my Facebook is Welso Dubinin, Dubinin. Also, it's Welso.
Okay.
You can get a hold of me whenever. I am awake pretty much all day.
I was going to say, also put that in the comments. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in the print interview and I'm going to put your contact info there. The other thing I want to talk to you about real quick, I do a psychic roundtable where I get a bunch of intuitives and stuff, paranormal investigators together. And I've been doing it about once a month. But we all get on live stream like this and we just chat back and forth and talk about topics or issues and take questions. I was wondering, since I'm going to be upping it to once a week, Thursday nights, would you be interested in being on one of those?
What time Thursday nights?
Generally, it's going to be after 8.
I can do that.
Okay. Basically, my mom gets off of work at 8. She can watch my kiddo. That's
okay, fair enough.
That's why it's after 8. It's 8-ish.
Yep.
But yeah, just I'd love to have you on. I know I've got another guy. He's heavy duty into Wicca, and I'm in talks with him about pulling him on. And I think it would just be really, really nice to all hit up some of the topics together. Nice being here. Blessed be. Thank you, Amanda. It was great having you.
Yep. Nice talking to you. I will definitely.
We'll get back to you on those ravens.
Yep. Yeah, I will definitely let you know about those ravens because I have a basement to decorate.
All right, my dear. I will contact you again soon. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that more people can see this.
They will. I'm also going to boost it so as we can get that going out there.
Yep.
Give people a place to go.
Very true. I know there definitely are a couple of things that I am very opinionated about. At the same time, we all are. I do take my kindred seriously. I do take everything seriously. However, I am also open-minded about everybody's perception of everything. And I will accept your input. I am also very willing to teach anybody who wants to know. I know we didn't really get into lore, which is probably just so I don't confuse the hell out of a bunch of people, because
we can do that next time.
It gets very confusing very quickly. But yeah, so have a nice night. Take it easy.
Love to all. See you guys soon. Toodles.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Okay. Bye. Thanks you all for tuning in. And that was Welso of the Norse pagan kindred, the Shining Ram. And yeah, I think this was great. A great first start. And he's probably going to come back on with us and do a little bit more talk about lore and everything like that. So loves to you all. And I will catch you guys this coming up Thursday for the Psychic Roundtable cast. And remember, if you're in the area, to stop by the Des Moines New Age shop for our Piercing the Veil Psychic Fair. We are really excited about that. We've got some interesting readers. We've got a couple of psychic mediums. Uriel's Flame, the Psychic, and Angel Lynn. We've got Sylphan Ways for Crafters and Creative Nocturnal. Unfortunately, Angela wasn't able to join us because she has the flu. She's the lady with all the crystals, but she should be in the next one in May. And we've also got Sunshine Oracle Destiny. She's always awesome. You guys got to stop by for her. So, and of course we have Spiral Healing Energies, our energy worker, Reikiist, everything. I probably slaughtered the pronunciation on that, but it's been a long day. And so come on out and see us. And if Angel Lynn makes it out as feeling willing, we will probably have a spirit gallery where she does kind of a group psychic medium reading, and we will see how the psychic is feeling, to see if he is willing to do a message circle. So fingers crossed. All right, you guys, hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow, and if not, tune in Thursday right around 8ish for the psychic roundtable. Happy weekend.